Somebody turn the mic back.
شيخنا كيف الحلقة؟ جيد؟ نسقيك؟ شيء ينفعك؟ طيب ساعتك إن شاء الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. صلى الله وسلم وبارك على عبده ورسوله نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد. Last hadith that we read from Kitab al-Nikah and Bulugh al-Maram, hadith number 936. The author rahimahullah, he says, وعن ابن مسعود رضي الله عنه قال لعن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم المحلل والمحلل له. رواه أحمد والنسائي والترمذي وصححه. وفي الباب عن علي أخرجه الأربعة إلا النسائي. Ibn Mas'ud narrated that the Messenger of Allah عليه الصلاة والسلام cursed two types of people, or cursed two individuals. He prayed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He invoked Ar-Rahman, the Sublime and the Most High, to send two men far away from Allah's mercy and allow them to be wretched and miserable. The first is Al-Muhallil, is the one who makes that which is called Tahleel. And the second is Al-Muhallala lahu, is he for whom the Tahleel has been done. The Messenger of Allah alayhi salatu, he asked Allah to have two types of men to be far from the mercy of Allah and to be wretched and to be miserable, to be punished. The first type of man is he who does that which is called Tahleel. And the second type of man, or the second man, is he for whom the Tahleel is done. The author rahimahullah, he says, this hadith has been collected by Imam Ahmad, Imam al-Nasa'i, and Imam al-Tirmidhi, who declared it to be sahih. There's another similar version of this hadith, or variation of this hadith, that's reported by Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu, collected by the four, Abu Dawud, Tirmidhi, Ibn Majah, except for Imam al-Nasa'i rahimahullah ta'ala. This hadith teaches us that it is haram, it is a major sin, and also it is a means of nullification of the contract that involves tahleel. Number one, that the act of tahleel is haram. Number two, the act of tahleel is from the kaba'ir, major sins. Number three is that the contract for which the tahleel is done or involved is fasid, batil, laghin, is of no existence. It does not exist, it is invalid. And if the contract is invalid, then everything that comes as a result and a fruit, a product, a sum of the contract is also going to be kadhalika. Children, inheritance, this, that, mahramiyya, musahara, the whole list of al-ahkam allati tata'allaq bin nikah. The rulings that pertain to marriage and the rulings that pertain to the aqd being done. The rulings that pertain to the aqd being done, let alone actual consummation of the marriage. Talaq, divorce, khula, death, inheritance, the whole entire universe of rulings of nikah. Number one, the actual aqd, the contract. Number two, consummation. Number three, divorce, talaq, khula, fasq, or death. Everybody understand this? The systematic way, the revolutionary approach to studying fiqh, as we explained about hayd and nifas. All of the rulings that come into existence when you talk about a woman who is now hayd. She can't do this, she cannot do that, she cannot do kada, she cannot go here, the man cannot divorce her, he cannot have this type of intercourse with her, etc. This is permissible, the rulings that now are attached and fastened to this woman or this man. Once this thing comes into wujud, once this thing comes into what? Existence. Everybody understand this? This woman, she gave birth. She began to bleed naturally. She now has nifas. So there is a list of what? Ahkam, tata'allaqu biha. That now what? Pertain to her. And also ahkam tata'allaq bizawj. That pertain to the husband. Everybody understand this? Everybody clear on this? So marriage, divorce, inheritance, fiqh, salah, tahara, qada, they're all what? Linked. They're all what? linked. So therefore, tahleel is haram, it's impermissible, it cannot be done. Number two, if it is done, it is a means of major sin, wrath of Allah. And number three, the aqd, the contract of the tahleel is also false and null and void. And that's in any kind of marriage, any type of aqd, any type of consummation, let alone the whole entire wisdom of tahleel. What is the hikmah of tahleel? Why would a man make a contract with another man to do tahleel? Except for a reason, a fa'idah. So therefore, he did something which was clearly against the sharia. So now he is going to be يعامل بنقيض قصده. The exact thing that he wanted is the exact thing that he cannot get. Everybody understand this? Legally. As far as outwardly, it's a different story. The dhahir, courts, imam, masjid, different story. But between him, her, that man and Allah, he's mal'oon. He's cursed. And his marriage with this woman, or remarriage, reunification with this woman, is also going to be false, cursed, etc. Everybody understand this? So this is the gist of this hadith. La'ana Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam al-muhallila wal-muhallala lahu. The Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he made dua. He asked Allah to curse the man who is the muhallil, who makes something halal, who makes tahleel. And he also cursed the man. He made dua against the man for whom that tahleel is what? Done for. The man that the service has been offered for. The service of tahleel. Everybody understand this? Now before we get into what tahleel is, let's read some fawaid. At-Tirmidhi rahimahullah ta'ala, he says, حديث صحيح حسن والعمل عليه عند أهل العلم منهم عمر وعثمان وابن عمر وقول الفقهاء من التابعين. He says here that this hadith is fair and sound, strong. وَالْعَمَلُ عَلَيْهِ إِنَّ أَهْلِ الْإِلْمِ. And it's also, not only is it authentic hadith, but the hadith is the view, it's the practice of the people of knowledge. This goes to show one of the virtues of the book of Imam at-Tirmidhi, which gives you two major madrasas. Madrasat al-Hadith wa madrasat al-Fiqh. Both schools being married together, and that there is no true contradiction between the two. The hadith goes with the fiqh, and the fiqh goes with the hadith. Everybody understand this? Is that this was the fiqh salaf, the fiqh of the early Muslims. He says this is their view from them. And listen carefully to Imam at-Tirmidhi, and listen to how we talk today in 2017. He says, وَالْعَمَلُ عَلَيْهِ إِنَّ أَهْلِ الْعِلْمِ. He says this hadith is acted upon, it is the madhab, it is the fatwa of what? Ahlul ilm. Who are the people of knowledge of Tirmidhi? He doesn't say Imam Shafi'i, he doesn't say Imam Ahmad, he doesn't say Ishaq ibn Rahuya, he doesn't say none of these people who are actually Ahlul ilm. That's not what he says initially. How we talk today, the ulama. What's the view of the ulama? What do the ulama say? At-Tirmidhi rahimahullah, he says the first from Ahlul ilm, he says minhum Umar. From Ahlul ilm is who? Umar ibn Khattab. He's at the head of what? The ulama. He then says, rahimahullah ta'ala, wa Uthman ibn Affan, radhiyallahu anhu. These are what? Ahlul ilm. He then says, wa ibn Umar, and also Abdullah ibn Umar, also from Ahlul ilm. So if you want to study a fiqh issue, wiping over the socks, wiping over the khimar, going down on your knees, going down on your hands, is the lihya, is it permissible to be cut? Does a woman have to cover her face? If you want to study any fiqh issue, the very first place when it comes to scholars, personalities and names should be the Sahaba. Sahaba al-Kiram. Not the four Imams. Not the Tabi'een. Not their followers. And there's no disrespect to any of them. But everyone has a what? A virtue and a level. And no level is to be mixed and confused with another. Everybody understand this? I love this person like my father. And this man is my actual blood father. It's different. It's malish. No disrespect to you, Sheikh Amin. But this, everybody understand this? Everybody clear on this? Yusuf, I love you like a little brother in Islam. It's not the same as Sheikh Amin. For example, Mathalan, everybody understand this? There are what? Levels. His level should not be confused with what? The next person's level. So we have to give the Sahaba their rights first and foremost. As it's related by Aisha radhiyallahu anha in the Muqaddimah of Sahih Muslim, even if it's not the most authentic isnad, it says, Umirna an nunazzil an-nasa manazilahum. We have been ordered by who? Who ordered Aisha? She says, we have been ordered to give the people their proper what? Due rights. Their proper what? Due rights. This is one of the most non-existent things in 2017 in the field of da'wah. The people do not give the people the necessary rights. And they mix and they confuse things. So he says from the Ahl al-Ilm is Umar, Uthman, Abdullah ibn Umar. He then says, وهو قول الفقهاء من التابعين. He says, and this is also the view, the madhab, and the fatwa of the fuqaha, 4 imams. He didn't mention them yet. He said the tabi'een, the disciples, the disciples, the followers, the students, the pupils of who? Of the Sahaba. This is the chain, this is the pedigree, the lineage of fiqh. Everybody got this? What the Sahaba said. What did the tabi'un say? What did the followers of the tabi'een say? Then we go on, what did Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah say? What's the view of Imam Malik rahimahullah? What's the view of Imam Shafi? What's the view of Imam Ahmed? And also those ulama who lived before and after those 4 imams. What did Layth ibn Sa'd say? And it's not القول لا ينحصر في 4 رجال. هذا لا يؤخذ. كم في يعني ذاك الزمن من علماء كم؟ كثر. It's impossible for someone to say there's just 4 of them. And they lived in Muslim countries. Countries that were ran, controlled, dominated by Muslims. Originally or through conquering. Kufa, Medina, Egypt, Iraq, Baghdad, Muslims. So out of the whole entire Iraq and Baghdad, there was only Ahmed ibn Hanbal. That doesn't make any what? That makes sense. The whole entire Kufa, there was no alim except for Imam Abu Hanifa. That's stupidity. The whole Egypt, no one was there except for Shafi'i. And the whole entire Gaza, there was no alim except for Shafi'i. That doesn't make sense. For 4 men out of an entire what? Generation of people. Everybody understand this? You have how many brothers sitting here? If I just only 4 of them are good students, nobody else. Only 4 intelligent brothers, nobody else. Only 4 sisters online, only 4 people in Canada or UK. All of the people that are watching, just 4 of them. So that's total foolishness. So there were many great imams who lived before the 4 imams, during the lifetime of the 4 imams, and after the 4 imams that we said were either similar, equal, or even better. Why did the 4 imams, why did that name become solidified? Written in stone, written in granite. Why did it become so popular? Why did they have so many students? That's a different discussion. How they became the commercial household name, the iconic imams. That's a what? It's a different story. What is important is that other people lived before them, during their time and after them, they were great, similarly great, or even what? Greater. So if you're studying fiqh, you want to look at what all of them said. What did Layth ibn Sa'd say? What did Awza'i say? What did Ata? What did Hasan al-Basri say? Everybody understands? What did Dawood ibn Ali al-Zahiri say? What did Ibn Hazm say? All of the great kibar ulama, starting from the Sahaba, and you work your what? You work your way down. Everybody understand this? So therefore, this is a fa'idah with regards to the fiqh of the Salaf. As-Sanani rahimahullah ta'ala, he then says, وَالْحَدِيثُ دَلِيلٌ عَلَى تَحْرِيمِ التَّحْلِيلِ لأنه لا يكون اللعن إلا على فاعل المحرم وكل محرم منهي عنه والنهي يقتضي فساد العقد واللعن إن كان للفاعل لكنه علق بوصف يصح أن يكون علة للحكم وذكر لتحليل الصور منها أن يقول له في العقد إذا أحللتها فلا نكاح وهذا مثل نكاح المتعة لأجل التوقيت ومنها أن يقول في العقد إذا حللتها طلقتها ومنها أن يكون مضمرا عند العقد بأن يتواطأ على التحليل ولا يكون النكاح الدائم هو المقصود وظاهر شمول اللعن فساد العقد لجميع الصور وفي بعضها خلاف بلا دليل ناهب فلا يشتغل به. As-Sanani, he says, this hadith proves the following things. That tahleel is haram. And that is because there isn't going to be a curse from Allah, curse from the Messenger of Allah, except that thing is muharram. The major qa'idah. This principle, this rule, this technique, if you learn it and you master it, it can literally take you to 1,000 hadiths, 1,000 fiqh rulings. The Allah's Messenger cursed one who dressed in white, cursed one who wore a blue jacket, cursed one who wore a white kufi, cursed one who scratched his neck. Anything that the word la'an is mentioned in, that thing, you now have 2 things, that it is haram. You cannot say it's makruh. It's haram, muharram. And that thing is from the what? Kaba'ir, the major sins. Everybody understand this? That is a template that you can put anything inside of. Everybody understand this? Anytime Allah's Messenger mentions the word what? La'ana. La'ana Allahu liman dhabaha li ghayrillah. Everybody understand this? Allah curses the man who slaughters for other than Allah. You can't say it's makruh. It's just dislike to slaughter for other than Allah. If the person is the wali, it's okay. لَعْنَ اللَّهُ مَنْ ذَبَحَ لِغَيْرِ اللَّهِ. Everybody understand this? And this is how you learn how to deduce and extract from the hadith. Al-istinbat, al-istikhraj. They ask the question, how do we deduce from a hadith? Just take this one principle and practice it 100 times. I give you a mission, a job. Read Sahih Bukhari and make a list of the kaba'ir only from Sahih Bukhari. Try it out. Go do it. Give yourself a month, a challenge to read the whole entire Sahih Bukhari and write down a list of kaba'ir. Al-kaba'ir and the Imam al-Bukhari. How would you know what is a major sin and what isn't a major sin? Just off of that one way. Let alone fire, Allah is free from, ana bari'un, I'm free from. Let alone specific punishment, had, whipped, flogged, beat, stoned. Forget all those other things. But just the one concept of what? La'na. Everybody understand this? Mal'unun man kada. Everybody understand? Lu'ina alladhina kafaru min kada. Everybody understand this? So therefore the word la'an in itself, you can literally take, as we said, 100, 1,000, 10,000 different rulings. Anytime the word la'an is mentioned, then you know that thing is from the what? Kaba'ir. And it's also haram. Everybody got this? So imagine if you did that and then you practiced on that. Your skills will be sharp. And anytime you hear a hadith, it will be instinctive to know the ruling. Quick, easy. I don't have to know what Imam Ahmed said. I don't have to know what this one said. La'ana. Khalas. It's authentic. That's it. It's haram. Let me stay away from it. Everybody understand this? La'ana Allahu akla riba wa mukilahu. Allah curses he who eats riba. He who gives the riba to eat. He who writes it down. He who witnesses, etc. Eating the riba is what? Haram. So I want to deal the riba based off of that ruling. Everything that is claimed and attributed to riba is not necessarily riba. There's fiqh to it. There are times in which it's a necessity, but I'm going to proceed with what? Caution. Extreme caution. Because it's serious. It's not a joke. Everybody understand this? And any other issue of religion. And this is extremely beneficial for the layman Muslim, let alone the student of knowledge. There are things that the layman can learn. You don't have to know Arabic not to know certain basic principles. And every Muslim should be armed with this basic way of self-defense, as we said. Basic stuff that every single Muslim should know. Everybody understand this? If I read a hadith in Sahih Bukhari, the Messenger of Allah cursed the man who wore a red hat. I don't need a scholar or a lecture or a class to know, have enough common sense. Let me not wear the red hat. Everybody understand this? It's just that simple. And then that's just one principle. Imagine if you learned another principle. And imagine you have 5 of them, then 10 of them. And you practice it 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. How learning would you be as a what? Layman Muslim. Not a student of knowledge or Arabic, as a layman Muslim. You go to work, you go visit your aunt, you go here, it's a funeral, it's this, that. You know what to do. You know what to advise with. Not to force the people with. This is my nasi, I don't think you should do that, akhi. Because kada. Everybody understand this? Basic, simple knowledge. Everybody clear on this? As-Sanani rahimahullah ta'ala, he then says, that is because anytime the word la'an is used, the thing is haram. He then says, and also anything which is muharram, anything that's haram, he says, is manhiyun anhu. That which is haram is prohibited. Everybody understand this? That which is haram is what? Prohibited. Everybody got this? Is what? It's prohibited. And that which is prohibited, he says, yaqtadi fasad al-aqd. There's another qa'idah. And whenever there's a nahi, a prohibition, then that proves that the contract is what? Fasid. It's mafsood. It's batil. It's false. Everybody understand this? The contract is no good. Buying and selling after the adhan for Salat al-Jum'ah on Friday. You're not sick. You're not a slave. You're not a woman. You're not a traveler. You're someone that must go to Jum'ah. You hear the call to Jum'ah and you make a contract. The contract is what? Fasid. It's what? Fasid. It's null and void. Why is this? Because it is prohibited to do that. It's prohibited to make a contract, to make a deal after the adhan of coming to the masjid. Regardless whether you make one adhan or 2 adhans. Everybody understand this? Everybody got this or not? So the contract is now what? Fasid. It's fasid. There is no ownership. You didn't buy it from me. It's what? Fasid. If I took you to court, I said I bought this, I sold this, the judge will say what? Fasid. You have no wealth. It's yours, it's yours. It doesn't count. It doesn't what? Everybody got this? You with me, Riyadh? The contract doesn't what? It doesn't count. Why doesn't it count? Because it's manhi anhu. Because it's been what? Prohibited. It's been what? Prohibited. Everybody got this? Another very important issue that pertains to this qaida, and this is usul here, very important. Student of hadith, you must know usul al-fiqh. And you must be strong in usul al-fiqh. Have I got this? Is the contract of divorcing a woman who's menstruating, or divorcing a woman who isn't menstruating but you just had intercourse with her, and then you got into an argument and you divorced her. She's in a pure state. She's not menstruating. She isn't pregnant. You don't know if she's pregnant or not, and you divorce her after you just had intercourse with her. That is haram. You cannot do that. It's prohibited. The ruling now is the talaq valid or invalid? The ulama agree that it's what? Haram. No, they agree that it's haram. You can't do that. It's called talaq al-bid'ah. You cannot divorce a woman and she's bleeding. It's impermissible. You cannot divorce a woman. You just had sex with her. 20 minutes later, you got into an argument. You got into a fight. She looked in your phone. You looked in her phone. You say, you know what? You're divorced. That's what?
Impermissible.
Haram. That's it. Haram. The question is now, the fork in the road, is the talaq valid or invalid? Everybody understand this? Those ulama, they say the talaq is clearly what? ليش؟ أيوة المنهي عنه والنهي يقتضي فساد العقد. You got it. 1 plus 1, you got to memorize the numbers. You know how to divide, you know how to multiply. Arithmetic here. Everybody got this? They say that the nahi يقتضي إيش؟ فساد العقد. Everybody understand this? الحكم لا يترتب أصلا because it's منهي عنه وكل منهي عنه محرم ولا يتعبد لله تعالى بالبدعة والمحرم. من عمل عملا ليس عليه أمرنا إيش؟ مردود. Everybody got this? And other ulama, they hold a different view. For other texts, there's other proofs that they use to show that the talaq al-bid'ah, even though it's haram, it's still valid. Everybody understand this? But the general, hypothetical, theoretical rule is that the talaq al-bid'ah is not supposed to count. It's not supposed to what? It's not supposed to be valid. Why not?
Because it was
prohibited. And prohibition necessitates that the thing, the ruling, the contract is what? Invalid, fasid. Everybody understand this? This is extremely important food right here. Say daily bread. Everybody understand this? Bread, something that you can eat, fill your stomach, stick to your ribs, you got this nutrition for your fiqh here to understand this. Everybody got this or not? Everybody, we clear? والله يا شيخ أرجو ما يكون شوش. مهم الأصول مع الحديث. Very important here. Khayr inshallah, moving forward. He then says, now before we even go this far, he said, what is tahleel, ya akhi? You didn't explain what tahleel was. Many brothers are sitting confused. What is tahleel? We say a tahleel, or we say the question is, in Islam, nafis. How many times is a man allowed to divorce his wife? Huh? And many times when Allah Akbar. Alhamdulillah, the Sharia is not placed in your hands. Brother Khan, how many times? 3 times or 2 times?
3.
Yusuf, 3 or 2? Sharif? 2, and not 3. Why not 3?
3, she's out.
Allah Akbar. 3 strikes and she's out. So he's only allowed to divorce her and stay with her how many times?
Twice.
2. In actuality, the talaq in Islam is only what? 2. Al-talaqu ish? Maratan. After you're at the plate now. Anyone who's ever played baseball, you know you have 2 strikes. Whether it's 2 balls, 3, you have 2 strikes. Or we say a full count. Everybody understand this? 2 and 3. You have to be very, very precautious now on the next pitch. Everybody understand you have to be what? You have to be what? Precautious. The next pitch, it is close to the plate. What should you do? Might have to swing. Everybody understand this? The umpire, you can call ball, walk, strike. You got to be what? Very cautious. And you shouldn't allow yourself to get jammed up like that every single time to a full count. Everybody understand this? You don't have to swing at the first pitch. Experience better, let the first pitch go by. You see how fast he's throwing. Curveball, the break on the ball. You understand the fiqh of the game. The second pitch, perhaps it's over the plate. A sinker, everybody a slider. Everybody understand this or not? So when you divorce your wife 2 times, the 3rd time is what? Out. You're out. Khalas. It's no more. Malish, you move on, she moves on. She's not good for you, you're not good for her, if you have to divorce her the 3rd time. So in reality, the talaq is only how many times? 2. Everybody got this? In reality, the talaq is only what? 2 times, and not necessarily 3. The third talaq is final, done. That's it. You're out. You're not batting anymore. Go sit down. The next batter. Everybody understand? It's not like Nafis says unlimited talaq. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. What is this here? La ya akhi. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah.
On the phone, you keep holding.
Right. So therefore, in reality, Brother Khan, talaq is how many times? Okay, the first time, him and his wife, they got into an argument. I told you don't go over your father's house. She went over her father's house. You hear what? Divorce. Second time, he accused her of, this happens all the time. There's nothing in outer space. This is realistic. In-laws, Adi. Don't go over his house. That's my father, so what? I'm your husband. They have an argument, they start throwing things, cursing, stuff for the law. Call Sheikh Mufti. No, don't call him. He doesn't pay no bills in his house. They say this. So they may say things worse than that. Bleep, bleep, bleep. So you know how they can Sheikh in the house? Forget Sheikh Mufti. He's nobody here. I don't care. He's not the prophet. Which I'm not. They say Sheikh Mufti, who cares about Mufti? He doesn't control anything in his house, in his bedroom. And so he divorces her a second time. Afterwards, a week goes by, 2 weeks, he starts to regret it. Dad, what was I doing? What was I thinking? She's wearing nice clothes. She's smelling good. She's cooking food in the house. Everybody understand this? She's trying to have good akhlaq, good character to get him to think. Look at what you're about to lose out on, akhi. Everybody understand this? You're about to lose out on what? All of this. And this food, this perfume, this silk robe is going to be to what? Brother Fulan. Everybody understand this? You need to what? You think. This is reality. Or he himself, he thinks. And this is the hikmah of the iddah. This is why the iddah is so long. For both to think about it. They're not trying to be funny. This is real life. And many people, we get caught up on the surface. Our fiqh becomes sathi. Literally, it's on the surface like oil on top of water. And we don't look at the hikmah of the tashri'. What's the purpose? 3 talaq, this, that. It's a faid, it's a ruling, it's a wisdom. And that is to reconcile. So when a man is displeased with a woman, he gives the talaq. If the woman has approximately, or let's say 3 months, roughly, to get her character together, to fix it up, or even if she was oppressed, he divorced her, it was his stupidity, his haste. She has 3 months to try to, as we said, put a spell on him. To try to get him, don't let me go. Don't allow a woman like this to leave you. Everybody understand this? Think about it. You know you're a jealous person. How you gonna feel? You come to Jumu'ah, you see what? Nafis walking with me. Wow. She may say this. This is a reality. The man may say, A'udhu billah. I'll take you back instantly. This is a reality. This is what? This is a haqiqah, unfortunately. So he has 3 months and she has 3 months to do what? To think. And during that 3-month period, she's still his wife. She doesn't have to cover up. She's supposed to adorn herself just like a normal wife. For him to do what? To think. The iddah is supposed to be in the house, not outside of the house. She's not supposed to go somewhere, I'm going back over my father's house. No. In the household. And that's another major problem in marriage, unfortunately in Islam, is unnecessarily and excessively involving the parents in the marriage. Your parents is your parents, of course. Your friend, your mother, they come over, they eat, they drink tea, that's nice. But you do not involve them unnecessarily and excessively in your personal affairs. No one is supposed to know what's going on in your household except for you. Unless you choose to disclose it to other people. For nasiha, let's have a family meeting, let's get help. But every single time a man, it causes ummi. Yeah, we had an argument last night. She didn't do this, ummi. What should I do, ummi? Gather. Every single thing, that's not good. And the same applies to the girl, that's not what? That's not good because everyone doesn't have pure intentions. You understand this? Everyone doesn't have what? Pure intentions. Your mother, her mother-in-law may be jealous. She was jealous against her from day one. I never liked you. You think you're prettier than me? I had to wait till I was 25 to get married. You get married when you're 18. It's a reality. Money, America, and the list goes on. Everyone does have pure intentions. So you have to have a certain level of discretion in your marriage. So therefore he takes her back. Khair, inshallah. 2 years go by. Then they get into another argument. This time she went to his phone. She saw a picture or something that she wasn't supposed to see. La, astaghfirullah, it wasn't mine. Somebody hacked my phone. Wallahi, Fulan used my phone in the masjid, which is possible. She says, why didn't you erase the pictures? The date says January 25th. It's February. It's March. Why didn't you erase it? I forgot to erase it, or it went into my the deleted photos. Like, no problem. So she starts cursing at him. Taqillah. What is this? Haram. I'm going to go to the masjid. I'm going to expose you. He says, you know what? You're divorced. He makes the second talaq. Everybody understand this? He has now how many months? Approximately, roughly 3 months. To do what? To think about it. I'm sorry. You know, you're right. I shouldn't have had the picture. Astaghfirullah. Forgive me. But please don't go through my phone again. Everybody understand this? What? Anyway, I don't like spies. Or the exact opposite. He went through her phone and he saw something that he wasn't supposed to see. You know it wasn't like that. Wallahi, I didn't cheat on you. But next time, don't what? Don't go to my phone. No salah. Shukran. Let's respect each other's property, respect each other's space. So then they reconcile after 2 months though. It took 2 months for him to calm down. It took 2 months for her anger to go away. It took 2 months for her hurt or for her to regain trust. So they get remarried. But no imam, no witnesses, no new mahar. Only thing is just take her back. Everybody understand this? He took her back. So now, how many times did he divorce her?
Twice.
How many times did he relive with her?
Twice.
That's it. The third talaq, laysa lahu, is not his. Once he pronounces those words, she is now what? Gone. Everybody understand this? She's what? She's gone. He can't be. Once he divorces, that's it. She doesn't stay in the house. She's out, gone. He cannot look at her, cook for him. And this is something that's very widespread. Many brothers, they divorce their wives, and the woman still lives in the house. Wallahi, she lives in the house. She doesn't wear hijab. She cooks eggs in the morning. She lives in the house with him. And then what? Divorce. What is this? This is real. You'd be shocked how many people do this. They have a child, of course. 2 children, 3 children. The woman, she still stays there in the house, like the husband and wife. It's like basically husband and wife. La ilaha illallah. Just can't do that. She's not your wife anymore. If you loved her that much, if you wanted to be around her that much, if you didn't want to split up your kids, then you should have done what? Controlled yourself. And refrain from speaking in a time of anger. Nafis, don't talk when you're angry. Don't talk when you're mad, when you're upset. Because 9 out of 10 times you're going to do what? You're going to regret what you did or what you said. You may wall out or someone may wall out on you. It's reality, There's always a bigger gun. It's always a quicker gun. Someone may wall out on you. You may wall on somebody. It's no good in speaking in a time of anger. And that's why the Prophet ﷺ said, La taghdab. Do not become angry. Awsini, advise me. فَرَدَّدَ عَلَيْهِ مِرَارًا. He kept telling him over and again, do not what? React. Don't become angry. And if you are angry, sit down. Say A'udhu Billah. Drink some water. Cut on the fan. Go outside in the snow. Walk in the snow. Everybody understand this? Get a punching bag. That's better instead of punching the wall. Punch in the mirror. Do that. Lift some weights. Do something. Let go of the anger. Don't speak at the time of anger. Because in most cases, you're going to regret it. You're going to do something to someone that you're going to regret. Someone's going to do something to you that they will regret or you might regret. So it's no khair in speaking at the time of anger, let alone to a woman that you love, that you're attracted to, you have children by. Lish. Why the viciousness? Just go walk out. Okay, no problem. Go walk. Leave me alone. Don't touch me. Where you going? Go, leave. That's better than staying in the house arguing, throwing things, cursing at each other, talking about her mother, talking about her father, talking about what I did for you, where I took you, what I bought you. There's no good in any of that. And it's a very important life principle. It's to avoid speaking at the time of anger. Everyone's a human being, of course. I'm a human being. I become angry, grouchy, or grumpy or whatever. I'm a man like anyone else is. But it's my duty to advise myself and advise you. Don't speak at the time of anger. Everybody understand this? And avoid unnecessary arguments in marriage in general, especially for sisters and for brothers and for men as well. Advice. In most cases, you're not going to win the argument with your wife. You're not going to win. If you're right based off of dalil, based off of logic, based off of common sense, the argument is going to be then based off of what? Emotions. What I feel. Everybody understand this? Can you bring the dalil into her heart? No. Can you change her feelings, Yusuf? No. No matter how much sense you make, this is how I what? This is how I feel. And if you're talking off of emotions, then she will quickly take it back to logic and sense and reasoning. Well, you can't do that. It's no khair. So avoid these things. And the shaitan is going to try to creep his way in and split you guys up. So therefore, the third time he divorces her, that's what? That's done. Dad, I was married to her for all those years. We had these kids. We lived together. What was up? Khalas. Now he wants her back. And he wants her back really, really bad. What can he do? Allah says in the Quran, حَتَّى تَنْكِحَ زَوْجًا غَيْرَهُ. Allah says he cannot, she's لَا تَحِلُّ لَهُ. She cannot be halal for him حَتَّى, until she marries another man. And it can't just be a contract. It can't just be city hall. It can't just be a municipal contract. He must marry her. And as the Prophet ﷺ says, لا حتى يذوقي, or he says, حتى يذوق أوسيلتك, until he tastes your quote unquote honey. Until you taste his honey. In other words, until there's sexual relations. Until he contacts you sexually with the sincere intention of being your husband. You have the sincere intention of you being his wife. Then 3 months later, once again, it doesn't work out. They go sour, they have a fight over anything, whatever the case may be, phone or whatever example you want to mention always. So now he divorces her, and after the 3 menses, he doesn't take her back. I don't want her. I don't like her. She's this and she's that. So now she has 3 menstruations, like 3 periods. She's now permissible to go back to what? First husband, Nafis. She's now what? Permissible to go back what? To Nafis. Everybody clear on this? And there's nothing wrong and there's nothing shameful about that. However, if Nafis went to Khalid, Khalid married Nafis's ex-wife. And he said, listen, Khalid. That's all he did. He didn't say anything. He just look at him like that. Khalid.
That's what it did.
And maybe Khalid can beat Nafis in a fight or in a wrestling match. But Khalid, he doesn't feel like what? Dealing with Nafis. I don't want to have this guy on my back. He says, Khalid. He says, you know I'm getting married next week, Khalid. He says, all right, no problem. Whether they say it verbally or what, or not. It's understood that I'm going to marry your ex-wife. I'm going to live with her for a month, a week, a day, whatever. I'm going to have sex with her. And then I'm going to do what? Talaq. Because I don't want her, I don't like her, we can't get along, we're incompatible. No. Only for her to go back to Nafis. For her to go back to what? Nafis. Everyone pay attention. Because they're going to ask this question, wallahi, at the end of the class. What does tahleel mean? صح شيخنا؟ يسألوا نحن بنشرح بالتفصيل. ما يعني يخفى على أحد إن شاء الله بالأمثلة. لكن إذا when we talk and not paying attention, people are going to be what? Confused. So therefore, Khalid, he divorces Nafis's ex-wife with the intention of her going back and being permissible for what? Nafis. Regardless, Nafis, pay attention. Regardless, whether he said it to Khalid or not, whether it was verbal, whether it was written, whether he looked at him, whether they understood, whether they knew it, a shahr, a month, a week, sex one time, and then that's it. Regardless of the conditions, San'ani says surah. Regardless of how it's done. Once that is the niyyah, it is now Nafis, or Khalid did what? He did what? Tahleel. Everyone understand this? He did what? Tahleel. So who's the muhallil here? And who's the muhallal lahu? Nafis. Everyone understand this? He did the tahleel, and the tahleel was done for Nafis. The Messenger of Allah ﷺ says, Khalid and Nafis, may Allah prevent, are both what? Yeah, you got it. They're both what? Cursed. And the sister, Nafis's ex-wife, Khalid's ex-wife, their second contract, well, not necessarily, because she doesn't necessarily know. No. If she knew that it was a temporary contract, then it would be?
Yeah. She want to get married.
Yeah, Allah. Allah. All I ask for is students that pay attention. If she knew that she was in this tahleel contract, then it would be what? Ahsan. It would be mut'ah. Because it's agreement upon what? Temporary marriage. Regardless of the intention behind it. From one thing.
10,000.
You got it now? We've been saying it over a year now. From one thing, now what? 10,000. The class on mut'ah is going to lead you to the class on tahleel. If you were not paying attention during that class, or laughing, or thought it was a joke, or Mufti's trying to be funny, you're going to be confused regarding what? This. Everybody understand this? It's haram for her to do that, and she could become cursed. But let's say Sister Fulana doesn't know about it. She never knew that was Khalid's intention. She literally married Brother Khalid because she thought he was a good brother. She wanted to marry Brother Khalid. He's a good brother. He recites Quran nice. He's cute. He's handsome. He's strong. Everybody understand this? And she wanted to marry him. She had no idea that Khalid's intention was just to do what?
Get back on her to get back on her feet.
Tahleel. Give me back what I do what? What I give you. She had no idea, or she never even heard of this hadith or this word tahleel. She's miskina. She's just, unfortunately, a ball being kicked between two goals. She doesn't know. Everybody understand this? But if she did know, and she was a part of the game, even if she didn't say nothing, verbally agree, then she's now included in this curse, or this concept of mut'ah. She's agreeing to marry him for what? Marriage. We have sex one night, that's it. Divorce you 3 months later, 3 menstruations, 3 periods later, she's now remarrying Nafis. So Nafis is the who? The muhallil, correct, Riyad? No. Khalid is the muhallil. And Nafis is the who? Muhallal lahu. Everybody understand this? So the marriage in the beginning was what? Between the sister A and Khalid was what? Invalid. It was what? Fasid. It was what? It was fasid. He never had the intentions. Now, another branch of this issue is what we spoke on in the last class as well about zawaj or nikah bi niyat al-talaq. To marry a woman with the intention of what? Divorce. And to marry a woman with the intention of what? Divorce. Everyone pay close attention. Yusuf, pay close attention. Everyone pay attention. We explained this in detail about mut'ah. And from the things that pertain to mut'ah is what? No. Marrying with the intention of what? Divorce. Between how many people? No. La ilaha illallah. Ahsant. Only one person. Only what? If there are 2 people with the intention of divorce, then it's what? It's mut'ah. We're both, if they agree, they come together. As far as if her intention is to marry Khalid for however long it lasts, or after a month I'm going to khula. And Khalid also says after a month I want to give what? Talaq. And no one knows. That's a different story. It's like a double agent now. We're working for 2 sides. A spy for him and a spy for what? For them. He's stuck in the middle now. Everyone understand this? You clear or not, Sharif? Okay. As far as if Khalid was the only one with the intention of divorce, then that's not mut'ah. And it isn't necessarily tahleel as well. Unless he has the what? Intention. إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّةِ. So, Khalid's intention is to divorce her so she can go back with Nafis. That's what they agreed upon. As far as Khalid married Sister A, without no intention, but I really don't, want her forever. I really don't want to stay married to her for a long time. I'm lonely, I'm tired, I'm depressed, I'm this and I'm that. This is a reality. I'll go back to my country, I'm going back to Guyana, she can't come back with me. My mother would never accept her. Everybody understand this? My mother what?
Never accept her.
Would never accept her. She got to stay in New York City, I'm sorry. He doesn't tell her this is in his heart. After he divorces her a month, 2 weeks, however long he wants to be with her, then the sister decides to get remarried to Nafis. That is not tahleel. Everybody understand this? It isn't what? It is not tahleel. The tahleel is when Nafis and Khalid do what?
Have an agreement.
Agree. They what? They agree. Mut'ah is when Khalid and Sister A
they already have
agree. Everybody understand this? Everybody clear on this? Okay, inshallah, we'll stop here. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala surely knows best.